ready for it.
Well, they not. I don't know if I am. But how would you grade James Jones, Lamar Jackson's performance last night? Let's get into it, big dog. First one, week one, game one. It's all assets up here.
I know you on my side. There's a
Professor Jones, let's hear it now.
We on the left side.
I circled it.
I'm giving Lamar Action Jackson an A. I thought he played a very, very good football game. You're not making every throw in the football game. We know that. I don't care what type quarterback you are. You're not making every throw. Did he miss a couple throws? Sure, right? One of them throws could have sent the game to overtime. Well, I'm not going to say overtime because the coach is already throwing up for 2. We going for 2. So going for 2. They was either going to win or lose that game, period. But Lamar Action Jackson, like I said earlier, nobody in NFL history did what he did yesterday. Throwing for more than 250 and rushing for more than 120. Nobody has done that. Lamar Jackson played an extremely well game yesterday from top to bottom. Does he wish he could have had some throws back? Absolutely. But the way this young fella played, he put his team in position to win that football game with his play. I don't know if he could have played too much better than the way he played last night. I really do not. And if you're gonna pick 1 or 2 throws to say he could have played better with that, cool. But you're not making every throw in the game. I thought Lamar Jackson played his tough to beat the baddest man in the league right now, in Patty Mahomes.
I knew you were on my side.
You know, every now and then, man. Every now and then.
I don't disagree with most of what you said because Lamar did play his tail off. I mean, 395 total yards, he absolutely did. But here's my dilemma is how often will we come on this show after the Ravens play against the Chiefs and say, man, Lamar played his tail off, but it just wasn't enough. In the game of football, in the game of life, in the game of sports, throw out stats. Throw out stats. Did you win? Or did you lose? Right. Far too often we get fixated on, well, how many yards did he throw for? How many yards did he rush for? How many passing yards per attempt did he have? I don't care about all that. Did you win or did you lose? Did you make enough winning plays or enough losing plays? Of course, Lamar missed a few throws, just like Patty did. Patty threw a pick. But here's my dilemma. Lamar missed 3 throws that could have tied and or won or lost had they gone for 2 and not gotten it, the game. So I don't want to come up on this show in front of y'all with all these brilliant athletes sitting around me and simply saying, yeah, Lamar played an A. I thought he played a B. I played like a B minus performance.
B minus. I'm going to
play a B minus performance.
B minus?
Yeah,
I mean
that.
B plus. So I'm going to say B plus, right? Because he did play a phenomenal game, right? And I think if he played the same way he played in the second half and the first half, they might have had a chance to win this game. And when it came to 1 play or 2 plays, I think in the second half, he was like, you know what? I got this, right? Throw that playbook, I got it. And you see more, he was super decisive. Yo, I'm in the pocket. If my guys ain't there, I'm running. It was sometimes it was like 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, and there was some guys open. He didn't even care about that. I'm going to try to get the first time myself. It's funny I say that because on the other side with Patrick Mahomes, I played with Pat in 2019. And that was the first time I seen a quarterback, this respectfully, so all my guys I played with, just hear me out. That's the first time I've seen a quarterback where I'm going to find a way to win this thing no matter what it is. If it's thrown to my number 1 receiver, if it's thrown to my backup tight end like Likely, if it's thrown to my running back, whoever it is, or me scrambling more than I'm supposed to, I'm going to find a way to win. That's how Patrick Mahomes, he would get in certain games. The games ain't going the way he would like. The game plan, forget it, throw it out the window. In the second half, well, I give Lamar a B+, because the first half was cool. He was standing in the pocket, trying to just be, I guess, coachable. Hey, coach wants to do this, do that. I understand that. In the second half, he was taking off. Whenever he seen any opening, guys getting missed blocks, I ain't waiting, I'm getting out of there. Throwing to my check downs, like making plays on the run. The one play he scrambled out to the right, was nowhere open, and there was man coverage with Likely. Throw it to him, and he scored. Like, that's giving your player a chance to make a play. So I think with Lamar Jackson, I gave him a B+ just because he didn't win a game, and this game is about winning. I kind of disagree with Acho about the stats, because the stats do matter. I mean, there's guys like Jimmy G that don't no stats, and they win. So I'm saying I think stats matter and also wins. He didn't win. The last 3 plays, though, you got to find a way to hit your open receiver.
Make one of them.
Just make one of them. That's all I'm saying. But he played a phenomenal game.
I give him an A. I'm with you.
There you go.
Because I look at quarterback a little different because I played.
Of course.
And so I think stats matter to an extent. Like, do you make enough plays down the stretch to win? No, he didn't. But I also think we're looking at it in a lens of Chiefs, only Chiefs. I'm looking at it at 31 other teams. I know they played the Chiefs last night. I get it. But Lamar Jackson puts on that performance against 31 other teams. They win running away. All right, so I just think you got to take it back to the Chiefs and just talk about how good they are. Like, we weren't sure how good the Chiefs were going to be on defense. Lamar still put up 400 yards, a touchdown. And when you really dive into the game, Like, I thought the play calling wasn't great, if I'm being completely honest. Like, it's on Lamar. At the end of the day, you as a quarterback have to take what's given to you and make the best of what is given to you. Todd Monken, the offensive coordinator for the Ravens, the first half, Shady, what you were talking about?
I didn't like it.
He threw the ball drop back only. Like, he only called drop back plays.
What I text you?
Shady text me like, hey, why ain't they running the ball with Derrick Henry?
Why are we throwing the ball so much? We got Derrick Henry back there,
Okay,
looking like a freaking man-child.
That's good and all, but if you're going to call drop back plays, Lamar is not a drop back passer. That's not what he's good at. You said it yourself. Man. He likes to run around. He's on pace for 272 carries. Yeesh. 272 carries. He had 18 carries. The whole thing about the AFC Championship game, hey, Lamar, you're not running enough. You're not doing it. What did he do? He ran more. Yeah. He can't sustain that. He's 12 pounds lighter than he was last year. So when you look at the play calling, give him some RPOs. Yeah. Give him some run game with Derrick Henry. Give him some under center play action pass or bootlegs and necks. You know why? Because that new offensive line lost 3 starters. Yeah. And that's the best thing in offensive line, a new offensive line that is yet to gel together, which, by the way, had 6 penalties on, including 4 illegal formations. That's the best way you can settle down, especially on the road and offensive line. And he did not do that. The entire game, most of Lamar's runs, they weren't called runs. They were scrambles because he was getting pressure in his face the whole time. So you're only as good as your offensive line in those situations. Like, you can only see so much. Maybe he's not getting through his full progression. Maybe he's only getting to 1. He's feeling the pressure. You can only do so much with the plays that are being called.
And that's why, for me, though, that's why I give him an A, because I feel like he's not that pocket passer. We want him to be. We want him to grow. We want him to be elite passer, but that's not his strengths. Like, if Patrick Mahomes goes out there and he don't juke 3-4 dudes, we ain't gonna be sitting up here like, come on, Patty, juke him. But if Patty missed them throws, we like, come, you know what I'm saying? So with Lamar, it's like, Lamar Jackson is not a pocket passer. That's why I'm giving him an A, because that's not really his strong game. What he did in that football game with his legs, with his strong game, he was changing that game with his legs. And yes, he missed a couple throws with his arms, but that's not really his strong point in his game.
Here's my question again. I love this. We got 40 years of NFL experience up here. You're not going to find that on another show. An athlete is talking at all times. Here's my issue, though, is how often can we come up here? It's year 7 for Lamar, y'all.
Yeah.
Year 7, man. Year 7. He had Greg Roman for the first 5.
Yeah.
He's now had Todd Monken for the last year in the game. What else? What other? Andy Reid coaches for the Chiefs. He will never coach for the Baltimore Ravens, as I suggest. So Lamar Jackson's never going to have Andy Reid's offensive game plan. Right. So we came out after 5 years, Chase, and we said Greg Roman's wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
Now it's been a year. They went to the AFC Championship game, #1 seed last year. Lamar won another MVP, and now we're saying, oh, it's not good enough. I just think there are Andy Reids and Shanahans and McVays, and they're few and far between. Everybody doesn't have them. Either way, Todd Monken, his offense, Shady, had Lamar Jackson at the 20-yard line. Right. Just make one of the 3 throws. You ain't got to make them all.
And I get that.
Just make one.
I do think that, and the Chiefs are the favorite to win it all. But they seen what they seen last night. Okay, these Ravens ain't bad.
No doubt.
Now, I know Andy Reid, like, yo, these Ravens ain't bad. And we talk about this going forward, right? Because you just said it earlier, Chase, that if they play any other team other than the Chiefs, that they probably win that game.
Running away.
But the only thing is, the only team that really matters is the Chiefs. And I do feel like if they play head-to-head again, the Chiefs got to be a lot better. Because the Ravens going to get better, right? New offensive line you talked about. And I think the biggest thing on the Ravens' offense is the offensive line. Because we really want to run this ball, right? I think they're going to find a way to use Derrick Henry a little better. And then you talked about how we throwing the ball with Lamar. Maybe it's not always drop back. Maybe it's rollouts. Maybe it's play action.
It has to be.
Right? Maybe some RPOs with Derrick Henry. So they're going to find a gel with their offense. I just think that going forward, the Chiefs did win this game, right? But they got to come a little bit more with it.
Let me ask you something, though. Why is it always not enough? It's always not enough. It's always not enough. Remember Lamar Jackson, the start of his NFL career. Oh, man, the running game is too much. Greg Roman got Lamar Jackson in handcuffs. Get rid of Greg Roman. Okay, we did that. Bring in Todd Monken. We got to spread this thing out. We're going to see a lot of 10 personnel formations. Last year, you saw Zay Flowers. You saw Nelson Aguilar. You saw Odell Beckham. You saw Rashad Bateman. You saw all these individuals. You get to the playoffs. Ah, man, they got to run it more. Okay, cut to week 1 of the 2024 season. Okay, man, now that there's too much drop back pass. It's too much. Family, it's never going to be perfect, Chase. Shady, it's never going to be perfect. Y'all know that. Y'all played a lot longer than me. It's never going to be perfect.
Yeah, for sure.
Doesn't the player have to make the imperfections perfect? That's where I'm at with it. Andy don't call a perfect game.
Yeah.
He don't call a perfect game.
Well, and then you look at Mahomes. Andy didn't call a perfect game, and Mahomes had You said C+.
Had a C+.
I think it's a little bit higher, but like that's not what we're talking about. I think at the end of the day, as a quarterback, like there's two things that make you go from. There's really one thing that makes you go from good to great. Can you put a team on your back and carry them? That's what gets you to great. Lamar
basically
did it.
did that.
Lamar did it.
Yeah.
Lamar did it, except for the last 3 plays. That's going to be the storyline. Like, you got to finish. You got to make one of those 3 throws. But at the end of the day, I still think Lamar Jackson is a top 3-4 quarterback in the league. Now, his legacy is it's never been about the regular season. It's always been about the postseason. The dude has 2